What's going on, boys? As you all know, Apdo's been stomping his way over the Chinese server, hitting up to rank 2 at the moment. He's actually extremely close to hitting rank 1, and has been playing a lot of Twisted Fate, of course, his signature champion. So today, I'm going to be showing you what he does on Twisted Fate, how maybe you guys can do that yourselves and climb the ladder. Alright boys, firstly, this video is sponsored by Mobalytics. It's a great platform, it helps analyze your games, gives you little tips to try and improve on the ranked ladder. Today I'm going to be showing you my account, and using the GPI, the Gamer Performance Index, my account Crown on the O server. So as you can see, there's 8 skills they analyze. Blue is what a challenger should look like. Pink is me. You can see team play. I excel extremely well at team play. Kill stealing, very low. Never steal kills, not me. Great objective play. Gives you some nice tips. So I definitely recommend checking out Mobalytics. It's going to help. There's about a 1 week left in the ranked season, so give it a go. Tell me what you think on Twitter, boys. Alright, heading into game. It is Twisted Fate into Fizz. This was played about a week ago, so it's not super recent, but it's still within a week. I think Apdo is like 600 or 700 LP at the moment. Well, at that point in time. Here are the runes. I mean, they're just typical Apdo runes. There's nothing special about them. In every other video when I've got them off the OpGG, they're the same. This is actually off, this VOD is off official Dopa YouTube. They post Dopa VODs actually pretty often, so definitely go and watch them. Just because I can't spectate off the client. Insane invade. He gets a kill, but his team drops 2 kills. I don't know about that. Pretty risky, but I mean, he played it well. Didn't die, got the kill. Good for him, bad for his team. So starting off in the laning, I mean, Apdo's always talked about this Fizz matchup, you know? You run exhaust, you play slow, you get a freeze early on, and you harass him off. We'll see how he plays it. I love watching this matchup. This matchup and the TF into Z matchup. Always really fun to watch. Minion wave's in an even spot right now. If both of them don't touch it, it's going to sit. What is Fizz doing? So now the wave's going to push back to Fizz. But in all honesty, Fizz can't really cop that well of a freeze, you know? I mean, he's short range, his wave clear is pretty shit. If he pops his E to wave clear, you're really vulnerable for the next 15 seconds or so. Good way Apdo baits out the E. Not a big deal. Fizz blows it. I don't know if he needed to blow that. I mean, Fizz is really smashing himself here. He's very afraid. You can tell how afraid he is. (3:20). I don't actually see who their jungler was. But he should most likely get a ward out soon. So into this Fizz matchup, the key thing is getting your hourglass, so when that Fizz ults you, you can back up. But I know Apdo actually, even when, so like Negatron is pretty shit, but I know Apdo likes to get MR extremely early on, even if it's pretty irrelevant, just to make sure that early all-ins don't hurt. So he's actually subbed in here. You can see him hovering topside towards that ward. His jungler's topside as well. There's like always hover towards your wards where your jungler is, so that if you get ganked, you can just run straight towards that way and you know it's safe. Moves in. Like Fizz actually has a lane in a really good spot. You can see Apdo just respecting the jungler now. Getting some like, making sure he's in distance. If the jungler collapses, he's fine to escape without dying. May still have to burn the flash. Not trading all that much. I mean, gets that trade-off there, but it's really hard to trade on the Fizz with the E cooldown if it's up, because you can just dodge out the card. But if you can, so what you want to look for is what Apdo just did there, is like, when Fizz is looking to last hit minions, then that's when you want to go and hover up, because Fizz is kind of like put into a scenario where he's like, do I go for the minions, or do I give the minions an E and be safe? It's kind of like a trade-off, and you want to be making the Fizz make that decision every time he goes for a CS. Jungler's dead, he can do whatever he wants. Getting nice Q harass off there on where he's last hitting the minions. So Fizz, when he last hits, I've always said this, you stay still to auto attack, so base your skill shots off where they're going to stand still. Creep, like just normal creeps, sometimes they give them, but for cannon minion, nobody gives cannon minions, like it's just too important. So you just absolutely know every single time they go for a cannon, raid. Get that trade off on the CS. Fizz has to back up. The Fizz should have TP. I didn't see his summoners. If he has Ignite, I mean, it's ballsy, but if you don't get the kill early, you really you cuck yourself super hard, man. He'll get a shove in here. I want to see his first back. Is he actually... He's going for an Abyssal Mask, okay. Abyssal Mask against 1 AP. I mean, it's gonna save him, but your damage numbers are super low. I played Abyssal Mask TF once. And that was against 4 APs. And I kind of said to myself, your Q damage is so low, it's good though. If your team's doing well, you can survive. And you're just a card bot. Just chilling in lane. He's level 6 now, so he might look for a shove and look to rotate. He went for that red card there. The problem is, like, bot lane shoving. Top lane is definitely diveable, but the jungler can probably do it otherwise. He glances up. You can see he's looking for it. Keeping his mana at full. He's not just randomly throwing out mana. He's making sure he has enough mana. If he needs to go and port, he can go. See those blue cards? Like, you need to be always making sure you have enough mana for the ganks. Like right there, bot lane gank. That was one of the things I saw Gross Score doing wrong a lot of the times. He'd always, as soon as he's at level 6, he'd still come to lane and expend the mana. He's been... No way. What is he doing? Surely not. I can't believe he got... okay. Well, that... You cannot port in vision. I don't know what he was thinking there, but it works out. Boosted play, man. Holy shit. Or maybe, just maybe, IQ bait. Definitely wasn't. You don't plan for that. Works out. Probably going to shove the next wave and get a reset. He has enough for the Abyssal Mask. He probably needs to start going for some movement speed though. Nice, nice, nice. He's on track for 10 CS per minute. 20 CS lead on the Fizz. Alright. Wait, is he going to... Yeah. Okay, I thought so. I was gonna I didn't want to say it, but I thought he may have just gone and he's just gonna sit on this Negatron. He loves to go for, you need to make sure that you have that AP for your Qs, so you have a lot of damage on your burst. Also, just note in there, in the base, you have Catalyst. If you're in base with no health but mana, just throw a Q out and you regen health based on how much mana you spend. Gets you back to lane about 0.5 of a second quicker. So he's got no ultimate now. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. I'm going to assume you freeze. Most of the time, you want to... when you have no ultimate, you want to freeze. Harass off the enemy. Unless the enemy laners are hard shoving, you can get the rotations off without the ultimate. But he's ahead of Fizz. He can control and dictate the pace of the lane. Has no summoners though. But because of the Negatron, even if he gets caught by the fish, one rotation won't kill him. His Engraves though will kill him if it's 2-man. Gets bot side vision out. They know they're probably going for the drag. Sees the Graves. He knows his bot side. Now he can just position accordingly. It's gonna be interesting to see what Apdo does on the next season. I love him playing on the Korean server because I can see him play against the Korean pros. I can actually spectate his games because you can't spectate games on the Chinese client unless you have a Chinese client, which I don't. But I wonder what Riot's stance is going to be. Surely, he's been a good boy. I'm banned Tyler 1. I'm banned Apdo. That's what I'm saying. He has enough of Rod of the Ages there, and he decides he's going to stay and harass the Fizz more. Because now he can just shove in the Fizz, harass the lane, he's looking for a port across, or he can just force a base off for Fizz so he misses one wave of XP. Perfect port. I'm guessing he wants enough for Rod and Boots. Tier 2 Boots upgrade. Be really solid back. Actually, like, TF into Graves is really nice. Graves is short range. You just card him and he's relatively squishy unless he goes for the Hex Drinker. Oh, for 2 minutes. He needs the base soon. I'm gonna shoot. After this wave, he should base. Just because of how much gold he has, and because he could get getting the rod and getting the stacks, it's pretty inefficient if you leave it any longer. Yeah. So you see that. So he's going for the, like, usually, so standard TF build path, guys, is Rod of the Ages, Lichbane, Hourglass. Into the Fizz matchup, the second item is the other way around. So you go Rod of the Ages, Hourglass, Lichbane. Now the reasons for that is, I've said it before, as soon as the Fizz ults you, you just time it so that you are Hourglass as the Fizz ults hitting you. Boom. No damage, nothing. No follow-up. It's so good. The biggest Fizz counter. You can actually win. As soon as you get Hourglass, you can actually play aggressive into the 1v1. You just walk up, bait the E out, and you're good to go. You can actually solo him. Unfortunately, that Negatron is... It's gonna be useless come late game. You're gonna have to sell it. Abyssal Mask, no point buying it after going for the Rod of the Ages. It's good though because even though it's a money pit, you have to realize that because he has it, it means the Fizz is never gonna kill him early on. And that's all he wants. He wants to scale into the mid to late without dying. I hate Kalista. I hate playing into a good Kalista. No idea what that was. So, I think the key thing to look at there, boys, is that Apdo didn't decide to go all in with the Kayn. He said, that's a bad play, I'm not going to follow. Even, like, a lot of the time, even myself, like, I'll see my jungle going in and say, okay, he's committing, I've got to help him out. No, you don't have to help him out. Let him die like an idiot. Just make sure that you, yourself, don't get baited for these retarded plays. It happens everywhere. I bet you, like, everyone that's watching this video, one time in solo queue goes, fuck, why did I follow up there? That's such a bad call. One thing that Apdo tries to do a lot of the time is, if it's a bad call, he just lets the enemy, he lets his teammates die. He doesn't like suicide. He doesn't go for that risky 50-50, like maybe if I get there in time, maybe we can go 1-for-1 or something. Like, he just doesn't go for it. There's no point. Unless it's a sure thing, you'll hardly see him going for it. A high likelihood. He's tanky. Gets the kill. Gets the blue. Now where's he want to be? Yasuo is taking the mid farm, it's fine. He was getting the blue buff, rotating top. If this Yasuo gets ahead, there's probably nothing that's going to be able to stop it. How does a Yasuo Fizz matchup go? Yasuo can win wall the Fizz. But if the Fizz gets close enough with a QR combo, you can't really react to it. Alright, they're shutting down this Yasuo. Apdo's team's playing other side of the map, which is a good play. They're a little bit behind though, so they might lose. No ult for a minute. Plus that flash, so he can walk up a little bit like aggressively. But nothing too much, because if he dies here, then the enemy is going to probably get the mid. If the enemy drops mid lane, it's going to be huge. Getting these wraiths, always take these wraiths on TF. Because he went for that Negatron, he doesn't quite have enough AP for that full clear. Taking those wraiths there, man. I've had so many junglers just spam ping me. Get the fuck off my wraiths, don't touch my wraiths. It's just, if there's a time like where they're up, and you're not going to get them for 30 seconds, it's more beneficial because you get the XP and they're going to spawn quicker. Like, it's much better. Especially as a mid lane. Maybe a little bit biased, who knows. Gets the Hourglass. Right now he can play super aggressive. Try and look for those roams, take over the game. If he's in the river, a Fizz ult's not going to catch him off. It's going to hit and he's just going to hourglass it. The problem is, with hourglass is, Fizz ults, you're stuck invulnerable for 2.5 seconds, but it also means the enemy team positions extremely well against you, perhaps gets up behind you and you die, especially with Soraka Silence. I want to see what boots he goes. Like, Merc treads, they're decent. It's okay, but... enemy team has a Fed Callista. Ender Graves. Auto attack based a lot. And he's already stacked a lot of MR. Aurelia, not that much auto. I'd say I'd probably go for the Mercs. A lot of MR though. Just sitting mid, not really going for that 1-3-1 yet. I think he definitely could go for the 1-3-1, but then it's like, who do they send mid? Their bot lane? Vayne Taric. I mean, Vayne Taric's a really nice split push duo. So hard to 1v... like, 2v2 of Vayne Taric. If they're even or ahead, it's gonna bop you, man. Wants to get the vision out first. Always playing it safe. He wanted that in the bush. One thing I love about League now is you can go in the practice tool, have a fondle around with your ward placements. I did this to make sure that I could get a lot of bot lane wards. There's not really many mid lane wards. There's one across, like behind that tower, if you know what I mean, to the brush. So if you drop mid lane tower to the right, that one, you place it right in the middle of that ward, it's a nice ward to get. That's about the only one you can practice at the mid lane that's gonna, like, you're gonna be using very often. That you can screw up a lot. Also to the bot side, clears it out. He's playing the map well. The question is, how do you close? Yeah, Graves gives them opportunity to get the inhib. Bot lane inhib is the most valuable here because it's the furthest away from Baron. Every inhib is not worth the same amount. Because if the bot lane, so the supers are pushing in bot, someone has to answer on the other side of the map. If there's no TP in the enemy team, it's done. Like, you can't commit for bot lane and get their Baron. It's such a long... This really is doing work, man. It's such a long path to get to. So yeah, always prioritize the furthest away inhib, the furthest away objective. Goes to the Tabi, I thought so. So he goes to the Tabi, obviously going for the Lich Bane now, but... So the Tabi is based against the AD. So they've got the Graves, they've got Callista, they've got Aurelia. It's a lot of AD. It's a lot of auto attack based. He's already got the Negatron for the Fizz. If he goes Mercs, overkill. Lucidity, he never really goes Lucidity ever, unless he's smurfing, so it was one of the two. Surprisingly, he still hasn't played any of the side lanes. Just happy sitting in the mid. I always feel so awkward when I do this build path. Especially because you're just used to the Lich Bane second, you're used to the damages. Feels awkward. Get the Baron vision, look for a pick. With the Vayne, you can always Baron. Vayne, Taric, always, you can Baron rush extremely well, especially if the Taric has a Ardent. Not sure what patch the Chinese server's on. I know Korean server's always up to date, but the Chinese might always be one behind. I can't remember. Kali doesn't have a QSS yet, but once that Callista has a QSS, it's going to be hard. She should go at next item as well. Someone needs to pick up bot farm and slow push that. Another thing that... Oh, let's see how he plays this team fight. Hourglass. See, this is what I was talking about. See how that Hourglass... Okay, it's good. You can cancel out the Fizz ult. But hey, guess what? You're in the spot for 2.5 seconds. The enemy team, if they're in a good position, they're just going to swarm you, surround you. demolish you. That's why I like the Hourglass for the split push build. But for team fighting, sometimes Hourglass is... it's useless. In a sense. Enemy team pops the Baron. This is going to make it super hard. The next 5 minutes or so, enemy team's going to be in control. I wouldn't be scared though. I mean, they've got Kayn. I feel as though Kayn outscales Graves. Vayne, Taric. Probably going to outscale the Kalista if it's a crit Vayne. Should be. Could be. I can't see if it's a Rage Blade or not. Blade of the Ruined King. Who goes Blade Vayne? No one. No one does. Maybe it's like a Sedge Cho'Gath comp. Weird. I swear it's normally a Rage Blade. Rage Blade into like PD, Shiv, or Hurricane or something now, isn't it? With the Rage, with the Ardent. Or just IE Shiv. That's the only builds I've seen. Alright, so you want to be looking for the Kalista. He can't path in there because it's too dangerous without his flash. So he just hovers back underneath the tower. This is going really sour. I think you concede inhib here and just say, okay, we're gonna, yeah. So just concede inhib. This is the time where a lot of lower elo players, they go, okay, we have to defend inhib. We have to do this. Well, hey, guess what? If they kill you here, they end the game with the Baron. Do not die or else the game's done. They just want to play really passive, as Apdo did here, and just kind of, because it's much harder to die with 2 towers in one. You know, quick mass. We can do mass in the chat. They just want to slow it up a bit. Just do not defend that one inhib and die to lose the game. I've seen it happen so many times. It frustrates me when my team does it. Yeah, she's quick. Yasuo cleans it. Well played by Yas. So, nothing is really going to happen to the next Baron spawn, I assume. Then it's going to be clearing waves, defending inhibs. Ain pops off, gets a kill. Actually, Yasuo is super fed, actually. He's huge. 245 farm. It's still a 50-50 game, even though the enemy team seems ahead. After he needs Hourglass, and then he needs a Void stuff, man. So you have that Negatron. I mean, hitting this combo at 26 minutes on TF with, like, it's pretty slow. That's the problem with the Negatron. You're putting a little bit of trust in your teammates, saying, hey, I'm not going to die, but you need to be picking up your slack for a little bit extra damage. There's a dull in the game. He's just clearing camps. There's nothing else to be doing. No farm to be collecting anywhere else. Always make use of every moment, every single like second in the game. Be going towards something. Gold, items, objectives. You never really want to be standing around, unless standing around is the safest thing to do. This Vayne build's doing my head in. I think he's got a Rage Blade now. Has the flash. Good escape. They get around, he still may die. They overcommit for him super hard. He's gonna base. Get them home guards. And come in and clean up. He should be able to clean that. Give us a... oh, dead. Doesn't pop his ult. He can maybe get Graves. Alright, they've got tempo now back in their favor. That inhib's going to respawn soon. This Fizz is doing work. A little bit of a window when the enemy team's dead, so just making sure to use it. Getting that there farm. One team fight right now is probably going to be to close. If you get an ace, you can probably close. Either side. Make sure to have mid priority. Push in the inhib so it doesn't matter. So the Baron's spawning soon. This next Baron fight is going to determine the game. Apdo has to put a little bit of trust in the Vayne that he gets a lot of damage off. The Kane's playing well. Yasuo, I mean... the Kane Yasuo combo, I didn't even think about it. If the Kane gets a dope knock up, I could see that going pretty good in their favor. Oh, if he holds the gold. Altering that gold card. Barracks down. See how positions here? Just positioning really far back. This could be the game. If he dies in this 1v1, might be over. Besides, he's not going to be the hero today. A lot of players right there will decide, fuck yeah, let's go for it. We can make, there's like a, I would say it's like a 20% chance that's going to work. He decides, nope, not going for it. I'll just try and base, protect, play it slow. Never stepping too far forward to make the risk. Double inhib though. If Fizz dies here, it is probably a Baron. Ooh, fuck, that's a slippery fish, man. Oh, that's so... Fizz is so tilting. Turning the Baron. Enemy team's not even on it. I wonder if they'll rush it. They've got the Vayne. They're going for it. Finally, a risk is being made. Kane gets it. Has to kill the Vayne. Vayne's down. Ooh, the Yasuo gets a nice... That's... Okay, nice win more. Oh, the Yasuo pops off. They can close out here. Wait, Kent? What is it? 20 seconds, Graves. Oh, I actually don't know. No, they can't. They can't close. Maybe inhib reset, look for the end with the Baron. Would be the right call. Unless this Graves comes up and they get the pick. Apdo, 15 seconds, flash. 100% a flash kill's worth it soon. Oh, this Graves. He fucked up hard there. Graves has a Mercs. Merc Scimitar, not a Mercs. No way. Can't die here. It doesn't even look. It just says fuck it. I'm gone. Doesn't even look. I couldn't imagine doing that. Holy shit. Megatron, dude. Needs that death cap. I wonder why. Wait. He doesn't sell it for needlessly large. Without it, he has no MR. Guess he wants that defensive, decides Yasuo has enough. He has the flash here. Uzi. 4v2. 4v2 with Baron and a Vayne. Should be done. The one thing that interests me about this game is Apdo never side laned. Never side laned once. Didn't bother with it. Didn't even attempt to do it. He just sat mid, played really slow. A couple of times there, I thought the game was over, but he just made his way, made sure to make 0 mistakes, so that if there was a chance, they do definitely win. And he does. They get the one opportunity and they pull it. This team played well. Yasuo was getting some nice clutch plays. Graves can't do shit, man. Such a useless champion if he doesn't snowball. GG. So that's it for the commentary, guys. I hope you enjoyed.